Welcome to the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Shane Diefenbach, joined, as always, by Johnny Venerable on a college football Thursday. We're getting going. Johnny, how are we feeling leading up to kickoff?
Feeling extra cute. Love my picks today. A lot of gross favorites that I'm absolutely going to face today. What did we learn from last weekend with the favorite Nebraska all off season? Northwestern was told, you're not good enough, you're going to fail. And not only did they cover, they won outright. And I think we're going to see some heavy underdogs cover today, and I can't wait to profit from it.
Yeah, I definitely saw your strategy kind of leaking out in your picks. A lot of big plus money, or a lot of big plus spreads. I'm definitely going with the dogs today. But yeah, I'm fired up. I'm stoked, and honestly, just having college football back, and especially because ASU is playing on this Thursday, it just feels a little bit different waking up in the morning. It feels like
weird that ASU is playing today, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they did this with, I want to say, UTSA a couple years ago.
Gotcha.
But
it wasn't last year though. They played last year on the opening Saturday.
Yeah. But yeah, nonetheless, going to be exciting. Hopefully they get some freshmen out there that can get hooked to this electric football team that is Arizona State. And I am honestly feeling pretty confident. We talked about it a lot on the show yesterday. So if you want to check out an ASU-centric pod, you can watch the one yesterday on PHNX Sports, PHNX Sun Devils live at Four Peaks. Talked about it then. But, yeah, to me, it does feel like Christmas. And it's Christmas for NAU as well, except there's no presents and all you get is a loss. I think that's basically it. Yeah, I don't know. U of A lost to them last year. This team is not U of A. We'll get into ASU in a little bit. But for now, Johnny, just looking at some of the lines and looking at some of the games, what are you most excited for?
Oh, man. Well, I teased it last weekend, foolishly thinking it was last weekend, West Virginia at Pittsburgh. I love this game for a lot of different reasons. Listen, Pittsburgh's the real deal. I'm not disputing the fact that this is one of the better college football teams of the past 18 months. They had a really nice 2021 kind of flying under the radar. I think they beat Clemson, right? They had a close loss in the Peach Bowl to Michigan State. But I don't know. I feel really good about West Virginia's ability to go score for score with them. The line in this game, I think last time I checked, Shannon, was plus 7.5.
Yep.
West Virginia as a dog. I think it's going to be closer to a field goal game. I think West Virginia is too well coached. They do fantastic in opening games, especially as an underdog historically. So I like Pittsburgh to win outright. Take the Pittsburgh money line, but I think West Virginia covers a plus 7.5. That's the matchup. I mean, how can you not key in on that one? Because it's two teams I think they could be at the end of the year top 25 programs. And if you're Pittsburgh, last year I think they finished right around 13th. Got a lot of returning seniors. I expect them to be right around there as well.
Yeah, football is back, and that means analytics are back. And so I'll kind of look at where the money's tracking, especially in this game, because this is the ESPN game, a premier matchup people are really excited for. Almost everything's on Pitt from money-wise, which if you want to fade the public, that is definitely a way to go for college football. Pitt has 75% of the money and 54% of the bets. That means that it's about split on how many bets they're getting, but in terms of big money and big bettors, they're all throwing it on Pitt. And, a lot of the experts and sharps are on Pitt as well. But when all three of those are on one side, like if there's 2 of 3, then I feel confident. If there's 3 of 3, I'm less confident. And that's only because the universe works in weird ways. And especially with college football, there's a lot of emotion. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. Compile that with the fact that it is week 1. It is the first time these players are playing. And it's just madness. It's college football, and there's no other way to describe it. So do with that what you will. I'm not picking this game, the spread. I'm taking an over and under on this, but I definitely do not mind taking the dog in a game that is this much of a toss-up.
Historically, West Virginia in our lifetime has been a very competitive team, especially offensively. They've made a transition at head coach a couple years ago to Neil Brown. This is the year I think they have to get the offense fixed. So if you're looking at the over-under at 51.5, I'd be reluctant to take the under. I would probably take the over just because Pittsburgh, again, very, very competent offensively, much more last year than we had seen from a team that usually loves to run the ball and play good defense. They were putting up over 30 points per game in 2021. I think this over-under should be probably closer to 54, 55.5. So if you're not feeling good about the spread one way or the other, I think the over is a safe bet. Also, if you're West Virginia, you want this game out of the way early in the season, not only for ranking standpoints, but also no one wants to go to Pittsburgh in late October, November. I mean, this game, inclement weather is not an issue right now. I think it's going to be a fast track with both these teams. High flying, as you mentioned, on ESPN. West Virginia, all offseason, you're a dog to Pittsburgh. They're 13th in the country, blah, blah, blah. I think high scoring, uber competitive one-possession game.
Love it. Well, all of these odds are available in the DraftKings Sportsbook app. It took a while to get ASU's odds up because who the hell knows what's going to happen. That line is probably, I think, still 25.5. I'll double check. Yeah. But download it today. Use that promo code PHNX when you sign up. Bet just $5 on football because it is back, and get $200 in free bets when you sign up using that promo code PHNX. But just a reminder, age and eligibility restrictions do apply. And see the show notes for more details on how to get your money. A lot of profit boosts going on. I don't know if you saw, Johnny, but a fun thing that they're doing on DraftKings for Thursday night football, not this Thursday, a week from today, when the Rams play against the Bills. If you take either team's money line and they're up by 7 at any point in the game, you automatically win your bet. So that's so you could take LA's money line. I believe it's at plus 135. And come away clean if they score on the first drive.
So they have an opening possession. Yeah, they're 7-0. Yep. You cash out, baby.
Yeah, we love a good scripted drive to start the NFL season. All right, well, let's just get right into it, Johnny. You teased it a little bit, talked about West Virginia. Let's see your picks.
Yep, I felt really good about all of these. Listen, these huge, gross spreads. I'm not into them. UCF, they're a 42.5-point favorite over South Carolina State. No flipping chance. I'm told the over-under for this is nearing 60. I think South Carolina State is competitive. I think they score on a couple of their possessions, which is this game, if this game's over-under is 60 and South Carolina State is a 42.5-point dog, something doesn't add up there. I think they easily cover. I think this is probably a 21 to 28-point game. And then same thing with Ball State. Ball State, very competitive program at their collegiate level. Tennessee is the biggest fraud in the SEC, one of the biggest frauds in recent memory in college football. I am not a believer in any way with that program. 35.5 to a proud program like Ball State that's very senior-centric. They have guys that stay 4 and 5 years. This is a team that's expected to be competitive this year. I don't care if you're playing at Tennessee. I think this game, another huge over-under at 66.5, not buying it. And then I just talked about it. West Virginia, I think, goes on the road to Pittsburgh. They cover. They take the L. We're not going to get into ASU quite yet, but there are a couple money lines that are unavailable on DraftKings because the spread is just too huge. I'm looking at Fresno State, Cal Poly. Cal Poly has beaten Fresno State before, and I couldn't take their money line. And I was a little upset about that. I wanted the plus 1,000.
Well, if they go up early, you can probably get that live on the DraftKings Sportsbook app because it's always
they don't
updating.
It'll be ruined, man.
Okay. We'll take a look at my picks for today. Super fired up to watch these games. Central Michigan, Maction is back playing Oklahoma State, ASU's opponent next week. I talked about this on Sun Devils yesterday. This is kind of an emotional hedge for me because if CMU covers and they make this kind of close, Oklahoma State's going to be pissed, but I win my bet, and then Oklahoma State can trounce all over ASU, and then I'll be sad then, but I still win my bet. If CMU doesn't cover, and Oklahoma State does just cruise. They might be in cruise control for ASU. I'm taking CMU plus 21.5, plus it's action. I just like to have fun. 3 touchdowns. They're going to score a lot of points. CMU's offense is always fire. And then West Virginia Pitt. Johnny, I know you talked about the over in this game. You like it. And you were right. It was set at 54. It's been bet all the way down to 52. This is where I don't think the public is wrong. This just seems like a game where we're not going to see a ton of points. It's going to be a kind of grinded out battle. I'm taking the under, even though a lot of the money is on the under. If I go down with the public, I go down with the public. And then you talked about this under as well. 66 is way too high for these two teams. I'm taking the under. Ball State at Tennessee. I think this could be a little bit closer, as you said, but I don't think this goes over 66 points.
Let me bet the Cal Poly money line before kickoff. Minus 41 is Fresno State. Give it to me. Come on, DraftKings. Give me a plus 3,000, plus 5,000. I can put $10 on that.
You can let's see if you can get an alternate spread right now.
I'm sure I can. I just want the money line.
Yeah, I know you do. Johnny.
Give it to me.
Well, obviously you saw in the graphic there was a beer in there because beer and football, they pair well, especially college football. A lot of stadiums in the college space are now serving beer finally. And hopefully they're serving Four Peaks, the best beer in the Valley. Right now, you can sign up for the Toast of the Month sweepstakes on gophnx.com. We're at Four Peaks at the final Wednesday of each month. We announced our Toast of the Month sweepstakes winner last night. It was Chris, one of our favorite listeners. So thank you, Chris, for signing up. And you can be a winner and you can win a $50 gift card to Four Peaks in Tempe, an annual membership to gophnx.com, and a free shirt of your choosing. Get a Sun Devil shirt. Get a Sun Devil shirt. Get a Sun Devil shirt. They're the best. Or get a hat. But yeah, sign up right now at gophnx.com. But if you're going to drink the beer, got to be 21 and over and enjoy responsibly. Let's talk about the premier game, the Pac-12 Network finale, because hopefully Pac-12 Network is no longer after this season because we don't really know what's happening. ASU and U of A are going to the Big 12. I'm calling it right now. But let's see about this season. Pac-12 Network, ASU, NAU tonight. What do you got, Johnny?
Well, I asked you if I could take the ASU money line. I cannot, as it stands right now. I don't think ASU covers, but I'm going to say for the sake of this show and your livelihood, because you do a podcast, for those of you who don't know, on the Sun Devils every day, I'll take ASU's. I'll take the spread as it stands right now, 24.5. I can't get their money line. I'm rooting for ASU. I want to be kind of ingratiated and adopted by ASU fandom. And so I will kiss some ass on the show right now. I think the under is going to hit though, because ASU, new quarterback, Herm, not offensively savvy. I actually think ASU returns a good amount of their defensive starters, but they lose Rashad White last year. Running game is kind of going to be in flux, as we mentioned. Some key pieces offensively, quarterback that's a little bit of an unknown. The end. I think this game probably is like, I want to say probably like 37-7, something like that. And they just cover. I don't know if ASU hits 40 points though. So it's going to have to be a defensive kind of battle and maybe some takeaways, some turnovers. What better way to get your new quarterback comfortable than a couple of short fields, Shano? But where the issues could arise is if Northern Arizona jumps out to an early lead, or they have some momentum going into the half and they're sticking around and it's a one possession game. That's where you don't want to be. If you're Herm Edwards going into already a critical year, and as you mentioned, Oklahoma State next week, you need a convincing W tonight.
Yeah, we've talked about this obviously at length for probably like a month now, this game specifically. Look, we've been at practice, we've been watching. The 11-11s have looked a lot more fluid than you would expect with a new quarterback. Emory Jones has been firing. They announced their depth chart. One of my favorite receivers, Elijah Badger, will start at the Z, and I think he could be the X factor tonight. The biggest thing for the Sun Devils, obviously, to cover handedly, so you have confidence going into Oklahoma State, but also to get your receivers and quarterbacks on the same page.
Yeah.
Having a good game from Emory Jones, 250 plus yards, some yards on the ground, and multiple receivers sprinkled out is going to be good. Give
our viewers quickly a scouting report on Emory Jones if they have not seen him yet.
So Emory Jones, Jaden Daniels is Emory Jones light. Jaden Daniels,
wow,
isn't obviously Emory Jones transferred from Florida. If you guys don't know this, Emory Jones, SEC quarterback last year, he had a pretty good game against Alabama. The game that Florida actually almost beat Alabama. If you want to watch that highlight tape, it's pretty damn good.
I've watched it maybe 500 times this
Yeah.
offseason.
Yeah, he's a mobile quarterback, obviously, but he can also sling the ball pretty well. This is a guy who was not only a solid quarterback in the SEC, but also a leader of his team, transferring out, obviously, because a lot of quarterback competition with Florida as they're ramping up to this year. And Ricky Pearsall, who was former ASU wide receiver, actually transferred there as well. So a lot of Devils in the SEC now. But I think the biggest thing, aside from Emory Jones, is the defense. You saw some turnover. Middle linebacker Eric Gentry going to USC. You're losing your two corners in Jack Jones, who is now probably going to play a lot on the New England Patriots, and Chase Lucas, who made the roster for the Detroit Lions, not to mention the heart and soul of your defense, Darian Butler, who also is in the NFL with Antonio Pierce on the Las Vegas Raiders. But aside from that, you got a lot of guys back. You got a lot of leadership back, and this front seven's really good. It's where the secondary is that you have some questions. So I think that what I said yesterday on the show is this is not NAU versus a team that might lose. This is NAU against a real Power 5 team. You know, they might not be the premier of the premier, but this is a Power 5 defense, and
it's a bowl team. It's a bowl team.
It doesn't matter how good a team is in the Power 5. This is a Power 5 defense against a Big Sky team. So I think they start out with stepping on their throat defensively, and defense can turn to offense. Short fields, as you said, would be huge. I think it comes touchdown after touchdown, and that's why I'm not taking just ASU minus 25.5. I'm also taking the over. Talked about this on the show. I'm expecting a 45 to maybe 10 victory. I think they roll because, as I said yesterday, this isn't the NFL where you get comfortable up 3 touchdowns. You want to get your reps in, especially in these bye games, especially with your home crowd, get people excited. I think ASU has a pretty good showing tonight, and maybe puts the country on a little bit of watch, not like the country, but some of the national media that's been talking smack, some of the people that have picked ASU to only win 3 games this year. But it's really just you can only lose in this situation. If you cover, that's what you're supposed to do. If you don't cover, then it's, whoa, this team isn't good, just like we expected. The outside noise isn't a factor as much as people think. But before we get out of here, I did want to talk about a little bit of outside noise. Johnny, did you see rumors floating around about our guy?
I have not.
Urban Meyer?
Well, I know he's back on broadcast where he belongs, talking ball. What's else been going on?
Why not him come to ASU?
I would absolutely love that. Do you want me to connect you guys if and when he were to come here? Who's putting that? Is that Joe Blow on SunDevilMessageBoard.inc?
I don't know, man. Okay.
Be the greatest thing that's ever happened in the state.
Johnny, why do you have a blank wall today?
Lots of reasons. Home studio under construction, new studio for the new season, but I had to switch offices at my home studio because my son is in my room now, and I have his room, which is slightly bigger, so we can fit a queen bed. So, new studio should be up and running if the wallpaper arrives for tomorrow's show.
Oh, so it was Dan Patrick on a show on Wednesday said, keep an eye on this school for Urban Meyer. Anybody want to take a guess? After a bunch of unsuccessful guesses, Patrick said Arizona State.
I think it'd be a great hire.
That is not Joe Blow. I would love it. I mean, chaos all the way. Why not? That is a very Ray Anderson hire as well.
Not chaos, winning. Like, okay, he's not meant for the NFL. Not a lot of people are. He kicks ass in college football. Yeah. He dominates college football. ASU would be rolling in the 5-star recruits left and right. Everybody in this state would sell their soul for Urban Meyer, as would I. Make it happen.
Urban Meyer, next ASU head coach. Obviously, everyone's assuming this is Herm Edwards' last year, so that's why all these rumors are circulating. Well, as I said, Johnny has a blank wall. I have a blank wall, basically, because I'm in our new studio. We can't show you the full setup yet, but we'll be live sometime.
Me too. I'm down the hall. Of the
hopefully
studio.
Sometime next week. But thank you to More Furniture for hooking us up. Head over to morefurniture.com. If you want to check out their Labor Day sale, we got a bunch of cool stuff, recliners, kitchen stuff, just a kitchen table, just a bunch of good stuff, some comfy chairs. So yeah, anyway, super
PHNX
excited.
Cardinals live tonight.
It's not your turn. Anyway, super excited for tonight. ASU football kicks off. And we will kick off our post-game show, our first of the year. Super excited for that. PHNX Sports on YouTube. Make sure to turn your notifications on we'll probably be live somewhere around the realm of 10:30 because we love Pac-12 after dark. Johnny, anything else before we get out of here?
Well, number one, I will be tuning in with the fans, having my super chats ready to go to not use them. No, I will. I'll throw you guys a couple bucks because it's my favorite ASU show. I love you guys. Totri on the sideline, maybe if he doesn't get
Yep.
trampled by the student body, we'll see. He is very tiny. And then we've got PHNX Cardinals live today. Myself, 4 p.m. Bo Brock. We're going to be talking about Russell Wilson's contract. Is it better? Is it worse? Is it the same as Kyler Murray? We're also going to be talking about top 10 players on the Arizona Cardinal roster entering this season. They canceled practice today, which means next time they take the field will be week 1 of the NFL season. Let's go.
Yeah, turn it up. 1 week away, and we got a full slate of college football on Saturday. We'll be talking about that tomorrow as well. So if you need some bets for Saturday, just sit on your couch, use the DraftKings Sportsbook app, eat some good food, and get ready for college football season, baby. We'll be back tomorrow to talk that. We're live every Monday through Friday right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. You can follow me on Twitter at Shane D. If you can follow Johnny on Twitter at Flexing, as always. You can follow Johnny on Twitter at Johnny Venerable. You can follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. And we'll be back tomorrow at noon on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Please stop. You're scaring the people. Peace, love, and the people want urban.